Hi, welcome to the second part of Principles for Chart Design. We discussed in the previous video, in part 1, the principles of chart design. And we said that the first one is that the charts have to have graphical integrity, right? They should tell the truth about the data, and you get that by avoiding to misquote data or to quote data out of context, or to lie by omission by not showing all the data that you have. The second principle is that the graphs are efficient. That means that they give the viewer the greatest number of ideas in the shortest time with the least ink in the smallest space available. So let's explore this one on this part. All right. So for the chart to communicate the greatest number of ideas in the smallest space with the least ink and in the shortest time, you need to avoid chart junk. So that means that basically you need to erase all the ink that is not communicating data. Okay? You need to erase all the ink that is not communicating data to make your charts efficient. So chart junk, it's all the ink that is not communicating data, right? Again, chart junk is all the ink that is not communicating data, and your goal is to avoid as much chart junk as you can. Typical forms of chart junk include vibrations, right? Pattern fillings, grid lines, purely decorative artifacts. Now, unfortunately, Microsoft Excel and the graphs that come with Microsoft Excel are full of chart junk. It's very easy to add chart junk with Excel, so you have to purposefully change the designs to make them or to take the junk out of them. Let me show you this with an example. I've seen these many times. Whoops, let me go back. Okay, here. Whoop. All right, I've seen these many times. Many students, when they're presenting their capstone projects, they present charts like this. Okay, so let's see what they're showing. So number of clients attending the workshops. Okay, there were 3 workshops. You have these 3 pyramids here. You have all this color. This is workshop 1. I'm guessing that's that one. Workshop 2, workshop 3. You have a big scale here, all right? And okay, now after when you look at this data, ask yourself, or this chart, ask yourself, what is the essential data that needs to be presented in this chart? What is the essential data that this chart is trying to communicate? Right? Basically, is the number of clients that attended each workshop. So here we have the essential data that needs to be presented in the chart. Right? In workshop 1, you have 20 participants. Workshop 2, you have 59 participants. Right. And in workshop 3 you have 45. Let's see what this chart is showing. All right, first of all, it's giving us this purely decorative artifact. I don't know what that is. That's a border, right? That's not showing data, so it's chart junk. This 3D effect, right? It's not really helping at all. It's actually, visually, it's hard to compare these things when you have these weird shapes, right? You don't know exactly where the point ends. What's this one? That's a little more than, looks like higher than, I don't even know what that number is, or this one, or that one. So these shapes are totally distracting. The colors are distracting. This 3D effect should be out of the question. This axis is full of numbers, right, that we probably don't need. These patterns in the pyramids are awful, very distracting. You have these grid lines that are, that make your eyes tired. And you have repetitive labeling here, right? Workshop, workshop, workshop. That, yeah, it's repeated 3 times. So this is a lot of junk. We have 6 numbers that we want to communicate, right? And 2 words. By the way, it will be better to communicate all that information in this table, right? But if you want to show it graphically, there's a better way to do it. So compare these two. This is what we had before. This is what I'm proposing. It is showing the same amount of information that we needed to show, right? Workshop 1, 20 participants. Workshop 2, 59. Workshop 3, 45 participants. No color, no distracting shape, no tiring lines, no numbers here, right? We took all this repetitive, labeling. It's showing the same amount of data with a lot less ink. Okay, we got rid of a lot of chart junk. Okay, now we could go even further if you want, right? Because here, to show that Workshop 1 had 20, we're using a box. We're using 3 lines. Here we're using another 3 lines and 3 lines. That's a total of 9 lines. We could probably do better than that and avoid a little more junk by using just 1 line per data point, right? Now we took some other junk there and we're presenting the same thing. Okay, so that is the principle. Avoid the chart junk. We went from a lot of chart junk, a lot of colors and things that were not really showing what the data was trying to tell, to the bare bones. This is an efficient graph. You look at this, you understand what's happening. You see the difference, right, spatially, and with a lot less ink, you can just, as soon as you see this, you know what's going on. Your eyes see it in a second. All right. So in summary, right? So you have 3 principles, right? The graphic should not quote data out of context. The graphic should not lie by using visual gimmicks, right? By increasing the areas of in the chart and making them out of proportion with the actual numbers that you want to show. And also, you need to erase all the ink that is not communicating data. Right? These are the principles of chart design that will give you the most efficient graphs and graphs that have integrity. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you some specific types of graphs, the pie chart, the bar chart, and the scatter plot. Those are 3 types of charts that you may be using this semester. So I'll see you in a minute. Thank you for watching.